India, under British rule, faced a unique problem: a surge in venomous cobras in Delhi. The city, teeming with life and commerce, found itself at the mercy of these deadly creatures. Concerned by the growing threat to public safety, the British administration decided to intervene. Their solution? A bounty on every dead cobra brought to the authorities. It seemed like a simple, effective plan. After all, fewer cobras meant fewer cobra bites. The logic was straightforward: incentivize the removal of cobras, and the problem will solve itself. People were encouraged to hunt cobras. The hope was that this financial incentive would motivate people to rid Delhi of its serpentine problem. Initially, the plan appeared successful. Cobras were being killed in large numbers, and their lifeless bodies piled up outside government offices. The bounty system was working, or so it seemed. However, the situation took an unexpected turn. The very solution intended to curb the cobra population inadvertently fueled its growth. The promise of a reward had an unintended consequence. Driven by the lure of the bounty, resourceful residents found a way to exploit the system. Instead of simply hunting cobras in the wild, they began breeding them. Homes were transformed into makeshift cobra farms, with people raising these deadly reptiles for profit. The once feared cobra became a source of income, its venom-filled fangs a means to an end. What began as a measure to control the cobra population had backfired spectacularly. The very people tasked with reducing the number of cobras were now responsible for their proliferation. The British administration, realizing their error, decided to scrap the bounty program. The decision was swift and decisive, aimed at cutting off the financial incentive that had fueled this bizarre industry. However, this decision had its own set of consequences, further exacerbating the situation in Delhi. With no more bounty to collect, the cobra breeders were left with a surplus of venomous snakes. Their once valuable assets were now liabilities. Unable to profit from them and unwilling to risk keeping them, the breeders released their cobras back into the wild. The result was a surge in the cobra population, far exceeding the numbers before the bounty was implemented. The city once again found itself battling a cobra infestation, this time of their own making. This incident, now famously known as the Cobra Effect, serves as a stark reminder of the law of unintended consequences. It highlights the importance of foresight and careful consideration when implementing solutions, especially those driven by incentives. What seems like a simple, straightforward solution can have far-reaching and often detrimental consequences if not thoroughly thought through. The Cobra Effect isn't confined to historical anecdotes. It's a phenomenon that plays out in various aspects of life, from economics to personal relationships. Imagine a parent who constantly rewards their child for good behavior with material possessions. The child, driven by the reward, might focus solely on the reward, losing sight of the intrinsic value of good behavior. The Cobra Effect teaches us to think beyond the immediate impact of our actions and to consider their long-term consequences. It underscores the importance of critical thinking and anticipating potential pitfalls before implementing solutions. Whether it's a government policy or a personal decision, the key takeaway remains the same: foresight, critical analysis, and an understanding of potential unintended consequences are crucial for effective decision-making. Before acting, we must ask ourselves, are we inadvertently breeding cobras?